What is going on, guys? Apple Fox here with another video. This time I'm about to show you the most wanted and expected features in iOS 11. Apple has already announced the event where we'll be seeing new iOS, most likely called iOS 11, so I'm going to show you my wish list of all the things I want to see changed or added in the iOS 11. There is a lot of things I would want to change, so let's better get into it. The first thing I want to start with is something we all want. I'm not going to talk much about it, but the thing everyone wants is the dark mode. There was a hope that we would see it in iOS 10.3, didn't happen, and in case it doesn't happen in iOS 11, then it will be very disappointing. Like, why cannot we have the feature that is super useful and it's good for our eyes? But on the other hand, as far as I know Apple, if they intend to release a new feature, they will try to make it the best, so maybe it's better to wait for the feature to be released a little later. The control center, well, I like that we have these two pages, it's very well done, separated, so there's no problem with that for me. But the problem is that it could be a lot more useful than it is now. What if I don't use the Do Not Disturb toggle? Why can't I replace it with something that would be a lot more useful for me, like Cellular Data toggle for example? Is it that difficult to add this option to settings? When talking about the Do Not Disturb feature, most people who use it, they have it scheduled. What does it mean? It means that they don't ever click the icon in the control center, so that's why I think there should be an option to replace it. Or take a look at this huge toggle for night shift. Why is it that big? And the same thing is going on here. I don't really click this button because I schedule all the time when it turns on, so no need for me to have it there. Some people also want to see the numbers row on top of the keyboard in iOS 11. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. When I see a keyboard with the numbers above it, I immediately picture an Android device. And iPhone doesn't run Android. iPhone's keyboard is unique, offers a lot of great functions, for example the 3D touch to move the cursor wherever you want. Also, there is a better way to type in numbers on iPhone and it looks like this. You put your finger on the 1, 2, 3 icon and swipe to the number you want. Once you lift your finger up, you're back at the actual keyboard. So this is what I like about it. Another thing I don't want to see is the custom fonts. By the way, I know Apple is not going to do that, but with a different font, the iPhone wouldn't be iPhone anymore. Because the different fonts on Android, even though they look good, but after some time, it starts to look ugly and weird. This would never happen to this classic Apple font. In iOS 10, we get the option to remove the unwanted stock apps, but the Game Center is gone completely. I mean, I know some people want it, not everyone of course, but why don't we have it on the screen with the option to remove it if you want? Why has it disappeared? This thing is quite annoying honestly. When you want to adjust the volume, you get this annoying pop-up or whatever it is and it stands in your way. You cannot see anything behind it for a couple of seconds. This should be already gone in my opinion. More use of Touch ID. The Touch ID is great and it works very well, especially the second generation present in the iPhone 6s and 7. But there should be more places where you could use it, not only to unlock your phone and Apple Pay. For example, just being able to lock apps individual. So for example, you don't want anyone to see your private photos. You just lock the Photos app and if you want to access it, you just place your finger on the home button and you get inside. In the multitasking page, which you can of course access by double clicking the home button, here you have the open apps. Some people like to close all of them out just because they think it makes their device faster. I don't really think it makes sense because it's just a screenshot of the app or the frozen screen, so it shouldn't make your iPhone run faster. But for people who like to do it, Apple should include an option to clear all of the apps at once. I'm sure many people would love it and benefit from it, so that's why I think it should be added. And the last but not least, I already talked about it in my previous video about the things that could be better in the iOS we have now, and that is the option to set the orientation in the multitasking panel. So people who are left-handed can also use it productively because it's very uncomfortable to use it with the left hand. And there you guys have it. These were my thoughts on how the next version of iOS should look like. If you have something specific you want to see in iOS 11, then let me know about it in the comment section down under the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and see you next time.